All my life I had to fight. Well, hello, welcome, bonjour, my people. How are y'all doing? This is Lily, and you are listening to the FTN podcast. What does that stand for, you say? Femme Trans Noir. That means black trans woman. You know where you are. So, how are you? How are you doing? I'm going to give you the updates in a second, but let me tell you first what I'm going to talk about today. I wanted to address the topic of validation. And really, that's a follow up to an episode. I think it was 3 episodes ago, something like that. But because I'm over here like every 2 weeks, that means it's like a month and a half or maybe even 2 months ago. So, yeah, it's been a while. And we're going to talk about that because I want things to be like super clear. But hold on now. Oh, baby, baby, do you have some coins? Okay, let me not get a copyright strike or however they call that. Um, but still, like, do do you do you have some coins? I mean, that would be great. I accept coins. Um, but you can do the free thing, right? You can share this podcast with a friend. You can, I don't know, comment, give a 5-star review, and shout out to the people who've done that already. That is much, much appreciated. Now, if you do have some coins, I'm not gonna say no. Girl, oh boy, or person, whatever, we open here. Um, you can go to ftnpod.com and click on the donate button at the top and give any amount you want. It's cool. You can also click on the Patreon button at the top, and that comes with a little more commitment. Not necessarily a lot because it starts at $2 a month, just $2, baby, and up to, well, whatever you like. So yeah, and I'm actually planning on doing some updates on Patreon, but we'll see. Let's have some conversations and see what you actually want to see or hear or whatever. Like we can get on that. And yeah, again, the free thing is really really appreciated and it actually helps. So do that for me, please. Thank you. Let me start with some updates. So, I've been talking about my attempts at growing cannabis for CBD, and well, what that means is cannabis that is legal where I live. Let me insist, legal where I live. Don't come after me, okay? Don't arrest me. And yeah, so my production, because it was in like a greenhouse in my garden, well, it was stolen essentially, and the people left behind like just a tiny little branch, and they did not see some much, much, much smaller plants that like just that were scattered like really small. I think they were maybe 4 or 5. I let them die. I mean, I was not trying to actually grow them. It was my first time. I was trying to understand how the plant grows, how like what happens when you do nothing to it, when you leave it in a really small pot, what happens when you train it, and all of that other stuff. So it was really like a test round, really. And yeah, I mean, all they saw were the actual two I was hoping to actually harvest something from. And they killed one, like they took everything, and they badly mutilated the other one. And yeah, they left just like a tiny little branch. I don't even want to call it a branch, but yeah, let's call it a branch. And I actually kept that. I didn't kill it, and I didn't throw away the other ones, the really really tiny ones, um, that had just one small little bud on them. Um, and yesterday I was in the garden, cleaning and doing, like maintenance, and I was like, "Oh, they are mature now. Oh, okay, let me harvest them." And I harvested like 5 grams. It's absolutely nothing. In ounces, that would be like a sixth of an ounce, right? Because I think an ounce is like 30 grams. Yeah, one fluid ounce is 30, about 30 milliliters. So I think 1 ounce is like 30 grams. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. It's like super small. It's nothing basically. Well, so I got that, and I'm actually kind of glad I did not report that to the police, because I learned today that somebody was planting same things like CBD plants, and their stuff was confiscated by the police. So it's just not, they're just not going to see it again. And that was exactly like my fear, that the police would simply, like, even if it's illegal, because there is such a, I don't know, like such propaganda and such bad information out there around cannabis. And we could get into how that is racialized, but let's not, maybe not today. But there, it's like, whenever you talk about cannabis, even if you're talking about plants that only produce CBD, not only, but the legal um, amount of THC, which is under 0.5%, I believe, and the plants just produce CBD, then there's still like people still look at you sideways and still doubt your word. So yeah, the police came and confiscated his whole thing, and that's not right. And I definitely didn't want to be like, okay, well, this, like, let me like auto report myself, and now y'all not even gonna worry about the people who came and stole my shit from my place, from my garden, and the stuff they took from like the shed and stuff. But you're not gonna investigate that, but y'all gonna investigate me for stuff that's actually legal. I didn't want any of that hassle, and I'm glad I made that decision, because yeah, that's how it goes, unfortunately. The other part of the update really is I'm tired. I'm just tired. Um, and I realize, well, I've I've come to the realization a while ago that I'm just prolonging a burnout. Um, yeah. I Okay, let's like roll it back a little bit. you do understand that transness comes with limitations. Um, and when I say limitations, I'm really talking about options, life choices, and the ability to look at the world with an understanding of what you have access to and what is simply out of reach. So that comes with scarcity, that comes with doubt and questions about the future, that comes with, well, with uncertainty. That's really the word. And uncertainty in itself encompasses like many other issues. That's financial stability. That's well, like essentially everything that you would need to be at ease, right? That's transness, in my own experience, sort of deprives you of that, or I feel like it deprives me of that. It has deprived me of that. So what happens is I tend to um, when I'm working on something, I tend to like dive real deep and not count my hours and just be like at 300%. Um, and I've been at capacity, like beyond capacity for years now. So I'm exhausted. I'm really, really tired. And I realized that the consequence of that is that even like doing the max, because I am so tired, my max is no longer the max that it was a few years ago because um, how do I say that? Because I simply need rest. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So when I actually allow myself to rest, um, boom, I'm back to normal and I can actually be efficient. But then when I'm in one of those modes where I'm like super stressed about the future, I'm super stressed about stability, um, and I'm like, no, you were not efficient enough, you were not productive enough these past few days, so you actually gonna have to do a little more today. And that is ridiculous because um, it's actually impossible. It's just um, more energy that is used, and I end up feeling depleted, and of course because I'm depleted, I am not as efficient, and so the vicious cycle um, begins again. That is absolutely frustrating. It's something I know I need to work on. I need to allow myself some breaks. I need to I need to maybe also allow myself to be okay with where I am. And that's a really hard one because okay, I don't want to sound entitled, but I feel like I should have more stability because I work hard, but I also know that it doesn't make sense. I also know that how hard you work has nothing to do with what you get in life. I know that um, it's about it's also about luck. It's also about access to things, and access is granted based on things outside of your control. It's not necessarily just your intelligence, your and how much time you dedicate, time and effort you dedicate to whatever you're working on. I'm aware of that. So I don't know. I am rambling because I am also like thinking through it as I'm talking about it. And I know it's not going to make much sense. Oh, it's not going to make much sense. So let's just move on. But let me just say this. It's there is stress in living as a trans person and not having a straight trajectory in terms of career, not necessarily having the not seeing results of hard work in the same way that you would see them if you were either in a different field or in the same field but working in a different way with different access. Yeah. Um, and I'm not trying to like complain. It's really just an analysis of the situation, and I know that it's absolutely different for different types of trans people, um, based again on factors that are outside of the trans person's power, really. But yeah, um, I'm gonna end it here with the updates. I mean, it's just an update to say I'm tired. I'm tired and I need a break. Um, I think, yeah, in the next few months, it's something I'm gonna be able to do. I have to, I'm not trying to put like all my business out there, but I'm trying to work on some other stuff that I can't really talk about anyway. But yeah, I think I will have to take a mental health break and see um how things go from there. Now, onto the actual topic, right? Sorry about that rant. Yeah, I mean, I am verbose. That's why you're here, aren't you? Come on now. But yeah, the actual topic, validation. So, in that episode, a few weeks ago, I was talking about how when you realize that someone loves you, someone looks at you and simply yes, loves you and pours into you, that everything changes. And that is very true, right? But what I did not mean it to sound like is that you need outside validation in order to find value in yourself, right? That's definitely not the message here. What this means really is like sometimes you're not able to see yourself because you are blinded by all sorts of things, mental health, doubt, and and also you may be hurt by the people in your life who are important to you and who are rejecting you, right? That also weighs on your image and your sense of self, right? And sometimes it is actually useful and powerful to have someone outside of yourself look at you and see yourself through their eyes, right? So it could be a romantic partner. It could be also a friend, like a really good friend. It could be a coworker. It could be like a random person on the street who lets you know that there's something about you. And it's not necessarily about your looks. It's not necessarily about um, how they are interested in sleeping with you. But it could be, and not it could be, it is your essence, right? It's something about your essence that it just speaks to them or that moves them, whatever the case may be. And yeah, I think it's extremely important when you cannot see yourself to see yourself through somebody else's eyes and realize that the worth that you are assigning to yourself is not necessarily what other people perceive. That's that's super that's super important. I mean, that's critical to a relationship to self when we are not able to pour into ourselves. And I know that some people are going to be like, but isn't that the same thing? And really, it's not. Because when you look for outside validation, you're not actually like actively retraining your mind and reprogramming yourself to actually see the things that people around you, people who you value, whose opinions you value, see in you. It's very different. When you're looking for that outside validation, you are conditioning your value. You are conditioning um, your perception of self on what others see, and it's limited to that. It's not internal work. It's not helping you progress. It's not reprogramming you. You're staying in that very same position where you give others the power to define you. And that's really not what we're after. What we want is to be able to look at ourselves. Like once we've seen what others see, once we've realized that we are not just what we thought, but we are more, then we continue to live with that knowledge, right? We continue to evolve and grow with that knowledge and with that understanding of self. So when validation, outside validation, is very stagnant because you still stay on that level where you are worth nothing until or unless someone outside of you says, you know what, let me grant you this little piece of value, and you take it. But as soon as the person removes it or that person is no longer in your vicinity, then the value that they attached to you or that you attached to yourself based on what they said, well, that value disappears, right? So there's like a huge difference. It may it may start in a similar way because, and I don't even want to say that because it's not similar at all. To me, like when you count on people to help you see who you are, that's like a crutch, right? It's like it's a little push, it's a little help, but it's not the same as depending fully on someone to feel like you exist and to feel like you have value. I hope that's clear, but it's extremely different in the approach. I mean, it's extremely different in the relationship to self. That's really it. So, what are your thoughts, and how do you, how do you navigate it, all of that? Where do you find your value? How do you define it? And has it always been the same for you? Actually, maybe I should talk about how it's been for me. Well, in a way, I did because, yes, for me, it's really the former where I've like lived my life not necessarily realizing my worth, not necessarily assigning value to myself in any meaningful way until my interactions with other people, where I was like, wait, so I am beautiful? Oh no, wait. I do help people in their transitions. Like, I do provide information. I do, like, am I, like, I do also provide relief. Like, oh wait, sense of community. Also, I am these things that I do. Um, so see how I'm not only talking about the romantic aspect, but also, yes, also community and the things you do to also help others. I mean, that's the reality for me. And it could be something different for you. I mean, I'm not trying to say there is one right way for that to happen. But yeah, I want to hear about you. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear about your experience as well. I want to hear also like how, like based on that knowledge, like how you contribute to helping people see their own value. Like, how do you do that? Huh? Like we should all like keep that in mind also, because we're trying to build ourselves, and that's extremely important. But maybe we should also like help or contribute in the building of others. Just food for thoughts. Anyway, y'all, I am going to end it here. And yeah, I'll talk to you well in 2 weeks. And yeah, so until next time, please again comment, send your your feedback. And I mean, you have all the links in the description, so you can do just that. And join me on Instagram, TikTok, Fanbase, Twitter, or X, whatever. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Take care, y'all. Bye bye.